if we were up there with the best nations, that would add billions to the economy.
Hello, my name is Derek Silby from Bothwell. This is a series of video blogs aimed at family businesses. So I'm fortunate enough to go around and actually meet some people such as Alex, who's an expert in his field, Alex Campbell. We're talking about continuous improvement here. That's Alex's field. It's a series of blogs. We've just talked about what it is, and now we're going to talk about why it's important to your business in this case. So we're in Scotland. The weather's sort of all over the place, which is pretty normal, but it's dry at least.
And at the moment.
And we're in the grounds of Bothwell Castle, just outside Glasgow. Right, so there you are. A bit of an intro. Alex, take it away and introduce yourself, please.
Okay. Hello, Alex Campbell. I'm a continuous improvement specialist, currently doing freelance work for a variety of organisations. Prior to that, I was with the Scottish Manufacturing Advisory Service, and before joining them, I've had various roles within engineering and operations.
Okay, thanks, Alex. So why are we talking about continuous improvement?
Why continuous improvement? Well, if I can tell you a story about one of the companies that I worked for, I was lead engineer for a couple of projects. Both on paper were very similar, so similar deliverables, similar processes, same company systems that we were using. The difference was with the project director. On one of the projects, they were very people and continuous improvement focus, and when I talk about continuous improvement, the key ingredient for me is people engagement to make it successful. So I had one project that was very CI, continuous improvement, and people focused. The other one, not so much. And the difference was night and day, both in terms of the quality and the results and the deliverables of the project, in terms of it being on time to the client's satisfaction. But also from a personal point of view, I looked forward to going to work when there was that continuous improvement culture and that sense of teamwork and
everyone moving the same direction.
Yeah, feeling my opinion was valued. That's all what continuous improvement is about. When you don't have that, it was stressful, it was chaotic, everyone was frustrated, the project was late, it was over budget, and as I said, it was on paper two very much identical projects, and yet because of that CI mindset, it was chalk and cheese.
Look. The reason we're doing these blogs is to introduce themes that people might not have come across before.
Yeah.
And organisations would have actually felt a bit like in one camp or the other, I reckon. But this is really important because it's important to businesses to move them forward, but it's also important to the overall economy.
Yeah.
Because every time you actually hear that we've got a productivity problem in the UK, this is real stuff to every single business. Every single business can actually sort of benefit from this and move themselves forward, both in quality and costs, etc. So look, and I think there's also a tendency maybe to think that AI and robots and things are going to come along and really change something substantially. And they will have their impact, but this has got a different sort of role to play, hasn't it, Alex?
Absolutely. Technology, Industry 4, digitalisation, a lot of the buzzwords that have been going around in the last 5 or so years, they're not a magic bullet. They're not going to make all issues go away and suddenly everything is perfect. Absolutely, they have a role to play in improving productivity. And last time I looked, the UK was mid-table, if you like, compared with other developed nations. So if we were up there with the best nations, that would add billions to the economy, which can only be a a good thing. But technology, yes, there is a role for that, but it should be complementing existing processes and systems and strategies, not thinking it's going to make everything better overnight.
Okay, so turning the topics 15 degrees to the left, so to speak. So there'll be people who are actually thinking about investing in plant and machinery. So putting the robots and that sort of thing aside at the moment, AI. But you know, a new lathe or something like that. Now you reckon that continuous improvement and the thinking around that can actually help make better investment decisions. So you spend that money and get the most out of it.
Yeah, without a doubt. I've seen too many companies where they've invested based on gut feel, and then wonder why the expected benefits haven't been realised. I've seen investments in expensive bits of kit where, when handed over to the operators, they said, "Well, yeah, it's good, but if I'd specified it, I'd have done this as well to make it even better." So it's
going back and thinking at the start, you know, what are the outcomes we want, and what are some of the maybe the physical processes and the people changes we need before you actually invest.
But who are the key stakeholders? Who's going to benefit from it? I've seen, again, projects where certain departments are seen as an afterthought towards the end, by which time it's too late to change a specification. And because a company's invested a lot of money in this, well, we spent all that money now, we'll keep going with it. And it just sadly too many examples of that. And a lot of that goes back to not fully understanding the current state process. So that groundwork is critical.
I can back that up, Alex, as I've got a current situation where we're helping a company choose a new, it's effectively an ERP for them. And I'm almost certain that we wouldn't have actually bought that ERP that we've gone for unless we've actually gone through the process of working out what we want and why we want it and where the savings are going to come from, etc. It's made a much better investment decision.
Absolutely, but not only that, really understanding that current state will invariably yield some great ideas and some quick wins. Completely in line with what we're talking about in terms of continuous improvement. It's like, well, why are we doing this? Okay, let's stop it.
Right, I don't know whether you can help me out, Alex, because certainly with my product Voss Voco, sometimes you're actually chipping away and creating some hours of capacity, so to speak. But equally, most investment decisions are usually made on the fact that if you're going to, you need to get the cost out. But continuous improvement is not about that, is it? All the time, because you know, if you might actually save an hour here or an hour there, it's not going to save a head or an FTE. But why do it? You know, can you help people out with that?
I mean, it all adds up.
Right.
If you save 30 seconds per member of staff in a company of 100 people over the course of the year, that's 200 hours worth of work back for free.
I think is you can do more with the same. So as a new customer comes along, I think this is really worth doing, is creating capacity. So, you know, if somebody goes off sick or maternity leave or whatever it happens to be, business changes come along, new customers, you don't necessarily have to immediately increase the resource to meet that extra demand.
Yeah, I mean,
demand.
I've worked in companies where the solution has been to just put more resource on a problem, which invariably causes chaos rather than understanding, okay, what really are we doing here? Working, the old cliche, working smarter, not harder.
And I think as well, you know, most business owners would actually prefer to bring on the extra revenue with no extra cost. You know, that's ideal.
It's win-win.
So, and the other thing is, why I'm a real fan of continuous improvement and addressing issues, is staff are hard to get these days, and if you can take some pressure off, you know, it's very, very common to find staff under pressure and not very happy in their roles. So And this is a way, isn't it, of actually relieving some pressure and taking away some recurring issues.
Yeah, and you know, I've been there myself. It's not nice when you're working in a pressurized, chaotic environment, especially when you think, well, if we did it slightly different, it would be so much better.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's a big investment in terms of time and commitment in order to get there. So you know, one of the key messages, it doesn't happen overnight, but
Yeah, well, look, I think this is an important point as well. I've seen organisations who say, well, this is a project, we're going to put continuous improvement in, and next year we're going to move on to a different project.
Yeah.
But equally, I don't want to scare people away and think it's not worth actually making a journey and making a start on it, because you can actually make small steps and get immediate results, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. But as you say, it's understanding how you're going to sustain that as well. You know, nothing saddens me more than when I walk around a facility and they've obviously invested a lot of money in, for example, shadow boards on the walls just to help organise tools better, and they're completely empty. You know, they're not being used, and you know, that goes back to, well, we thought we could do continuous improvement. It was perhaps given to one person to look after rather than appreciating. You know, it's a team effort. It needs leadership, sponsorship, and commitment and engagement if it's going to work.
It is, if you're looking for a culture, continuous improvement is a great culture for your business to have. All right, look, we're going to go into the next video now, and we're going to talk about, you know, wastes and things, you know, actually categorising how you
lean
actually
and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So how you get into it. So that's on the other side.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Alex, for
Thank
your
you.
time just now, and see you all soon.